Yeah, so my name's Bilal Akram. I'm a creative performance poet, writer of poetry, fiction, and a little bit of screenwriting here and there. And I sort of perform my poetry around the Birmingham and Midlands poetry scene and art scene. But I've also sort of branched out into London and Stoke and different cities and areas. Uh, Yeah, there's a lot of things actually. So 2024 has marked my first ever headline. So I headlined in London in February, and since then I've been getting sort of regular gigs at various poetry nights, and I've recently hosted an event last night actually called Poetry Jam at We Don't Settle Symphony Hall. But aside from my poetry endeavours, I'm working on a novel, which is a crime thriller of sorts, and I have yet to get back to that first draft. But it's the story's there; it's fully sort of fleshed out. All the characters are sort of developed, and the story and the plot is more or less on point. Yeah, there was a collection of art and poetry called Art of Life, compiled by a doctor called Bushra Chowdhury on behalf of Doctors Worldwide Appealing Gaza. And she sort of invoked a number of poets and artists from across the world, from various disciplines and backgrounds, to contribute to this book. And I was lucky enough to be a part of that, and I had a poem published in that collection, and it marks the first ever hardback print that I've ever been, a part of. And so it's definitely a proud moment in my career so far. Small steps. I guess the difficulty, or I'm finding the difficulty, is keeping the momentum of getting headline slots or hosting gigs, because you're not ever guaranteed that you're going to be chosen. It's not like a normal 9 to 5 job where you're being paid hourly in specific segments. Events happen, they don't happen regularly, and the competition, especially in the Midlands in a city like Birmingham, is really high. So I guess the hardships are sort of sustaining a career in poetry. So I don't think being a poet full time is a viable option anytime soon, because I haven't found the right avenues or ways of sustaining an income through poetry yet. But secret is passion, bro. So I don't think of this poetry thing as a side gig. I don't think of it as something secondary to something else that I should be doing in life. I think it's my purpose. And if it's your purpose, then it's easy to talk about. And actually, it's hard not to talk about. And so that's all it is. It's just being passionate about what you're doing and being a humble student at the same time. So you've got to have confidence in your own belief, but you also have humility, because you're never going to be, or you're never going to know everything, especially in a craft, in the arts, where there's such a high degree of subjectivity, there's such a broad spectrum of talents and people. You can never be too confident in your own ability, and in doing so, you sort of lose sight of your own growth as an artist. So that's all it is. It's literally just passion and knowing that you're doing this because it's what you are meant to be doing. Well, just do it, as Nike would say. Literally, just do it. Get up on the stage, speak into the mic, get that pen, scribble in that notebook, that notepad, show a friend, show your cousin, and just get opinions from other people. And then you'll gauge a sense of because I think poetry is, as much as it's meant for yourself, it's also meant to impact and affect others. And having that barometer of other people's opinions is maybe the most important part of being a poet in terms of growing as a poet, because you're never too high for criticism. Um, and once you do start writing, you realize that it's a never ending process, it's a lifelong journey, and you really just have to just keep doing it. And the way you keep doing it is by being passionate. So know that if you want to be a poet, are you actually passionate about poetry? Do you want to go into this as a career? then go all in, you know what I mean? Oh, there's too many. So I'm a massive movie fan, so my brain is full of quotes that have influenced my life. But I would say There Is No Tomorrow from Rocky.
He's okay. He's okay. He's okay. Damn, Rod, come on! What's the matter with you?
Tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
Apollo Creed says that to Rocky when he's training, and Rocky's about to give up, and Rocky says something about you can do it tomorrow, and then Apollo Creed says there is no tomorrow, and it's true, there never is a tomorrow. We can never grab the future, we can never grasp it, we can only live in the present, and so we have to live every moment as if it means something, and that we have to do things when they arrive rather than postponing them and trying our best in the moment. I think, that's one quote.